Hello everyone, I am Nishu Sharma, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department of IIMT College of Polytechnic, Greater Noida. Today we will discuss the introduction of theory of machine. So firstly we start with the what is the theory of machine. Okay, so theory of machine may be defined as that branch of engineering science which deals with the study of relative motion between the various parts of a machine and forces which act on them. The knowledge of this subject is very essential for an engineer in designing the various parts of a machine. Or we can say that the theory of machine basically we deal with deal with the relative motion between a various part of a machine. There is a machine which is a combination of various parts. So in a theory of machine, we discuss the motion between the various parts and the forces acted on the part of a machine. Okay, and the theory of machine is very essential for an engineer for designing the various parts of a machine. Now we will discuss the subdivision of theory of machine. The theory of machine may be divided into the following branches. First one is the kinematics, then it's dynamics, kinetics, and statics. Firstly, we will discuss the kinematics. Kinematics is that branch of theory of machine which deal with the relative motion between the various parts of a machine. Okay, so in a kinematics, the body is in motion. Okay, in kinematics, there is a two parts of a dynamics. The first one is the kinematics, and another one is the kinetics. So in kinematics condition, the body is in motion, and the in the branch of a theory of machine, we deal with the relative motion between the various parts of a machine. Now, the dynamics. In a dynamics, the branch of a theory of machine which deal with the forces and their effect while acting upon the machine part in motion. In this dynamics, we discuss the forces and their effect on a machine. Let me say, when we see the forces on a single slider crank mechanism, this the forces or and effect of the single slider crank mechanism link is called the is considered as the dynamics part. Okay, now we will discuss the kinetics. Kinetics is that branch of theory of machine which deal with the inertia forces which arise from the combined effect of the mass and motion of the machine. And the last one is the statics. We know that what is the statics? Statics means the body is at rest condition. So the statics is that branch of the theory of machine which deal with the forces and their effects while the machine part are at rest. Okay, and in static condition, the mass of the part is assumed to be negligible. There is no force and no inertia force is acting on the statics. Okay, now we discuss with the kinematic link, and it is the first point of the theory of machine. Every machine is started with the link, and it is called the kinematic link or element. Okay, so each part of a machine which moves relative to some other part is known as kinematic link or simply link or element. Okay, when we see the machine, there is a combination of various parts in a machine, but when this part is called a link, when the one part is moved respected to other part, then it is called link. Otherwise, it is only called a part. Okay, so kinematic link is that part of a machine which moves relative to some other part. Okay, and in this diagram we see that there is a machine of IC engine in which there is a piston rod, piston, cylinder, and engine frame, small and bearing, connecting rod, crosshead, flywheel, big and bearing, crankshaft. These are the parts of a machine, but all are not a kinematic link or element. Okay, So in this in this diagram, we see that there are only a four links. First one is the engine frame, which is the fixed link. Okay, and other link is the crank, which which move relative to the engine frame, and there is a relative motion between a engine frame and crank. Then the crank is the second link. Other link, when the crank is rotate about a fixed center, then the crank is attached to a connecting rod by the big end bearing. Then this connecting rod oscillate about the pivoted axis. Okay, then the connecting rod is called the third link. When the connecting rod is connected to a piston cylinder arrangement with a small end bearing, when connecting rod is oscillate, then the piston is reciprocate in a cylinder. So there is a motion between only a four parts, and this part is called engine frame, which is called the link one, crank which have rotating motion, which is the link two, and third one is the connecting rod, which oscillate and have a link three, and fourth one is the piston, which reciprocate about the fixed axis and creates a fourth link. And the necessary condition for a link, it is called it have a relative motion, and second one is it should be a resistant body. Okay, when firstly condition is that the relative motion between a parts is occurred, then it is called a link, otherwise is not. And second condition, it should be a resistant body. And what is the resistant body? Resistant body are those body in which forces are transferred but negligible deformation. Okay, there is a difference between a rigid body and resistant body. Rigid body are those body in which have no deformation occur and no forces are transferred. Okay, but in a resistant body, forces are transferred with negligible deformation. So main condition of a kinematic link is the first one is the it should be have relative motion, and another one is the it have it is a resistant body. Now we discuss the kinematic pair. Okay, so firstly we know that pair. What is the pair? Pair is the two parts are connected together is called a pair. So now we discuss the kinematic pair. Kinematic pair is the when the two links or element of a machine when in contact with each other are set to a form of pair. It is only called a pair when two links of a machine is contact with each other. It forms only pair, but when this pair is called kinematic, when the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constant, that is in definite direction, the pair is known as the kinematic pair. Okay, when the we know that a link have a relative motion between them, then when the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constant, then it is this pair is called the kinematic pair. Now we know we know that firstly we know that what is the completely or successfully constant. So firstly we discuss the constant motion, various type of constant motion. So firstly constant motion is the completely constant motion, and second is the incompletely constant motion, and third one is the successfully constant motion. Okay, so completely constant motion, in a completely constant motion, when the motion between a pair is limited to a definite direction, irrespective of the direction of force applied, then the motion is said to be a completely constant motion. Okay, so when a motion between a pair, that is the when the motion relative motion between a link is in a definite direction, or we can say that is in a one direction only, then this motion is called the completely constant motion. In this diagram we see that there is a square block in which a square hole is placed, and the motion of the square hole is in a only a one direction, or we can say the definite direction. So it is called the completely constant motion. And in the second diagram also we see that there is a shaft is fitted with a collar in a in a in a bearing, that is the shaft is only a rotating motion, then only have a one motion, then it is called the completely constant motion. Now, if we will discuss the incompletely constant motion. Incompletely constant motion, according to the name, we see that where the constant motion which is not completely, it is called the incompletely constant motion. Or we can say that when the motion between a pair can take place in more than one direction, the motion is called an incompletely constant motion. In which it is in, or we can say that we have discussed the incompletely constant motion. There is a motion only a definite direction, or we can say only a one direction. But in incompletely constant motion, there is a motion between a pair can take place in more than one direction, or not in a definite direction. It's called the incompletely constant motion. The change in the direction of impressed force may alter the direction of relative motion between the pair. Okay, in this diagram, we see that there is a round hole which is mounted on a square block. This round hole is rotating motion, and also has a reciprocating motion, that is called up and down motion, and it have a two motion, it is called as the incompletely constant motion. And we also see that a shaft is rotating in a bearing and also have a reciprocation motion, then this also have a two motion, then it is called the incompletely constant motion. Now we discuss the last constant motion, it is called the successfully constant motion. Successfully constant motion, it is also called as it is the combination of a completely constant and the incompletely constant. and when the motion between the elements forming a pair is such that the constant motion is not completely by itself but by some other means, then the motion is said to be a successfully constant motion. Or we can say that it is I have also discussed that that it is the combination of a completely constant and incompletely constant. It means that there is a final motion is a completely constant or the definite direction motion, but initially this motion is not a completely constant motion. Initially it have a incompletely constant motion, and by using the external means, this incompletely constant motion is converted into a completely constant motion, and it is called the successfully constant motion. Okay, in this diagram there is a footstep bearing in and there is a shaft which is mounted on a footstep bearing, and this shaft have a two motion. First one, it is rotated about the bearing, and another one is a it have a upward motion. Okay, initially when the load is not placed on this bearing, then this at the time it have a incompletely constant motion, because it have a two motion. First one is the rotating motion and another one is the upward motion. Okay, but after the after a load is placed at the upper of the shaft, and then we prevent the upward motion of the shaft, there is only a one motion, that is rotating motion, and it is changes into a completely constant motion, and it is called as a successfully constant motion. Okay, so we can say that and conclude that a successfully constant motion is a combination of completely constant or incompletely constant motion, but but it is a it is the motion between the elements forming the pair is that constant motion is not completely by itself. but by the some other means. Okay, now we discuss the classification of kinematic pair, and there is the classification of kinematic pair. There is the only a three type of classification of kinematic pair. First one is the according to the type of relative motion between the elements, because because in a kinematic pair two links are connected in a such a way there is a relative motion between them is the completely constant or incomplete or successfully constant. So there is a relative motion occur. So it in the first classification is according to the type of relative motion between the element, and other classification is according to the type of contact between the element, because the when the two links are connected, so which type of contact is used, it is the classification. Second classification is according to the type of contact between the element, and third classification is the according to the type of closure. When the two links are connected, so which type of closure is used to contact with each other, then the third classification according to this. In a first classification of the kinematic pair, there is according to the type of relative motion between the element, or we can say that in this which which motion is occur in which the two elements. Okay, so then the classification between the various type of motion between a element, it according to the classification of the relative motion between the element. First one is the sliding pair. When the motion between a pair is the sliding motion, then it is called the sliding pair, or we can say that when the one element is slides over the another element, then it is called the sliding pair. And turning pair, when the one element is turned about the another pair, another element is called the it form a turning pair. And rolling pair, when the two elements are connected, when the one roll over the another pair, another link or another element, it is called the rolling pair. And screw pair, when the in a screw pair, two motions occur. First one motion is the rotating motion, another one is the reciprocating motion. So screw pair is also called as the incompletely constant motion. And when the one element can turn about the other by screw thread. And a spherical pair, when the two pair are connected in such way, then one element turn about the fixed other element and form the spherical pair. But in the condition is that the other element have a spherical shape, not a fixed element, which element which turn about the first element and have a spherical shape. And according to type of contact between the element, there are two type of contact, but one is the lower pair, and another one is the higher pair. When the contact between the two element is the surface contact, there is only possible of contact is the two contact. First one is the surface contact, another one is the point contact. When the two elements of a pair have a surface contact, then the pair is called the lower pair. And when the elements of have a pair line or point contact, then form a higher pair. Now, if we will discuss the last type of pair is the according to the type of closure, that is called self-closed pair, and another one is the force-closed pair. Self-closed pair are are, are those pair in which two elements of pair are connected together mechanically, or it means say connected to the cells mechanically in such a way that only required kind of motion. It is called self-closed pair. And in a force-closed pair, according to the name, when the two elements of pair are connected, not connected mechanically, but it's capping contact by the using of external force, it is called the force-closed pair. So, thank you for today lecture.